Note to self. When excitedly changing out recipes to incorporate advanced recipes, make sure outputs are set up correctly. If you need to know why I'm saying this, you missed the shenaniganry that was the last episode of Alpha Andromedae. Hello Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program. In our Alpha Andromedae series, we are almost done with our upgrade to Veins Utilization, level 3. But we fixed a rather disastrous but hilarious mistake in the last episode that had to do with our very first custom recipe, well, not custom recipe, but advanced recipe. So we've changed out all of our production of graphene to use fire ice, which has this lovely glow at night. It's one of the cooler effects resource-wise in the game. Hang on, let me turn the light off so you can really see this. See that glow? All fire ice cubes kind of have that subtle glow to them, which is awesome. But because when I changed out the recipe, I did not say, hey, there are two outputs now, aside from just graphene. We also have hydrogen, so send the hydrogen down another direction. I didn't do that. So all of our outputs from these from all 6 of these that I set up 2 episodes ago started going into the graphene storage and then being sent down towards the graphene storage in the planetary logistics station, which was hilarious because it was a mixture of hydrogen and graphene, and all of a sudden I had like 10 minutes worth of extra problem solving unexpectedly at the end of the last episode. But we got it solved. We did. We do have a somewhat temporary solution to the just ridiculous amount of hydrogen that we're currently producing, and that is we've just created a huge mega tank to store up the hydrogen and allow the line here to continue to flow. Another thing we might be able to do to improve the rate at which things are moving along... Hang on. Now that I'm thinking about this. I haven't done much with pilers yet, but it might be time to do that. It might be past time, frankly. So let's go ahead and set up a few pilers. We can talk about it in the comments as far as whether or not this is very effective as a solution. But there's this handy little thing called a automatic piler. And you can read the description here. After setting up the automatic piler on the conveyor belt, it can automatically integrate 2 consecutive cargoes into one, which greatly improves the carrying capacity of the conveyor belt. So, for situations where we have all this hydrogen coming in, like especially from here, it seems like it would be worthwhile. Let's try this. I'm getting these pilers built right now. Apparently I needed to make processors because all of my processors were set up as they were in my logistics slots. Still working with that. Made a lot of progress on that last episode, thankfully. But let me set up a piler. Collide with other object. What are you talking about? Is that line really interfering? I wouldn't have thought that, but apparently it is. Okay, so we'll do something kind of obnoxious to deal with that. I hate it, but the game is forcing my hand. So we'll set up a piler like this. And I'm going to also set up a piler on the far end of things. Oh, wait, put it in the wrong direction. It needs to look like this. So it's not quite the same as a proliferator. So what this is doing is it's just increasing the carrying capacity of the belt. And I'm going to do the same here. So that any output from this piler is appropriately stacked. There we go. And that will hopefully help somewhat with the situation. It might not help very much. Pilers are not things that I use very often, even when I'm playing Dyson Sphere on my own and not commentating. But I would imagine that much later in the game, they're something that can be very useful for keeping things as efficient as possible. When you just have massive quantities of things sitting on belts and you need to increase the amount of a particular item that can sit within, say, 50 feet of a belt. Just a stretch of belt. It increases the amount of storage. Just raw storage availability to belts. Let's take a look at what we've set up here. I don't think I've set anything up for these, so I need to do that. Let's set these up to at least 800. Now, I remember setting up... Oh, there's no logistic spots here, so let's fix those. I had a feeling that there was at least one of these that I hadn't actually done anything with. So now those are loaded up, which is fantastic, because we will now just have those in perpetuity. Just on us. Same here, and now let's make sure that that is also the case with these, which currently it is not. Alright, so they're going to bring that to me. Already seeing a lot of improvement from having that handled for me automatically. Now, I don't think I have all of my sorters fully automated yet, do I? That's something that I've been talking about for a few episodes, but I haven't actually done. So what do Mark III sorters require? They require turbines and Mark II sorters, which I have that, like, readily available, right? Yeah. This is not an issue, like, at all. So, hang on. Let me go ahead and I'm going to delete this. No longer need that there. I guess I'm okay with this remaining in old school storage, so to speak. I see exactly how I can do this, thankfully. So let me move you somewhat. Not very much, just a little. Alright, we need to make sure I get conveyor belts back in my inventory, so there's that. Just the sheer number of construction bots I have available to me now is fantastic. Alright, so I'm just going to do the one. It's kind of weird to just have it here by itself, but it'll work for me. That's fine. So let's have those set up there. And then we just need you. I'm going to bring you straight in this way. This is just long overdue. That's all it is. It looks like these can come literally straight this direction. Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't see that coming. I just think that when I had the opportunity to automate this previously, I don't think I had nearly as much confidence that I would have the turbines available. It's just been that long. Turbines have not been an issue for a long time. Alright, one thing I can definitely do now, since I don't need these to be stored in large amounts, is I can set this just to have like one slot. And I should have done this already for this storage, I think. Yep. I can even say 0 slots. And now I just need an output, which I'll put right next to it and be done with it. So, let's see. That should have been enough. Glorious. And I think I can just output directly. Yes, I can. Alright, these I will let fill up a little bit more, just so that they can have a large, amount. Although, there, we'll do that much. And then it's just a matter of getting another logistics station set up. Setting up bots, and we wanted to provide and collect. So we want at least 1,000. There we go. Veins utilization level 3. Baseline productivity increased yet again from all of our mines. So let's take a look at technologically what we have available to us at this key juncture. So we can have, oh yeah, definitely. Mark III proliferator paint looks overdue. Quantum printing, so we can have Mark III assemblers. That's huge. So this is a 1.5x production speed increase. Recall that the basic assembler was actually 0.75 production speed, and the Mark I, or the Mark II assembling machine is a 1x production speed increase. So it's 33% faster when you upgrade to the Mark II. But the upgrade from the Mark II to the Mark III is a 50% increase, which is phenomenal. I'm going to queue up strange matter as well, and then queue up gravitational wave refraction, because that is 100% warping. Oh, it is so past time to get that done. I can also queue up high-strength, lightweight structure, which will give us access to frame materials and Dyson Sphere components, the very first components of the actual metal frames of Dyson Spheres. Which I don't know that I'm not going to do a full sphere here in this system. I might do a partial sphere, as I talked about in the past. But it's just fantastic. All right, I will eventually need to get some accumulators set up for production here. Right now I just have, looks like 16, 17 charged and ready to go. No, don't do that. Need to remember to have storages closed whenever I'm trying to move things around in my inventory. All right, so you can see these bots just actively, hurriedly bringing me as much as they can, which is great, and I appreciate them for it a lot. All right, I don't actually have silicon here, so I can't offload all of the stuff that I have with me at the moment. Look how much faster Icarus is flying now. Just little tiny improvements that sneak up on you over time. All right, let's empty that out, and then we can get rid of some additional graphene just by heading over here and dumping it into these. Now this still looks quite full, interestingly enough. Can I? No, I can't expand these storages. So there's not a lot that I'm doing with these. I suppose one thing I can do, we've got a couple of resources we're not producing yet. So while we're working on the research options that we just queued up, let's take a look at that. We have the Casimir crystal, which consumes graphene and hydrogen in large amounts, as well as titanium crystals. And we have the quantum chips, which consumes plane filters, which we aren't building yet. Plane filters require 2 resources we're not building yet. So we have our work cut out for us, because it's Casimir crystal mainly that we need to consume, and that's going to take graphene and hydrogen. So I wish I had noticed that sooner, because that's part of my answer to the question of where does this stuff, where can it go? We are starting to run into the issue that I described, though, with the graphene. So here's how I'm going to solve it. This is going to be a little bit ridiculous, but let me grab, I do need some steel. I need that stone. I'm going to solve the graphene issue, then we're going to get those Casimir crystals going, because it's past time that we work on those. Oh, let's see. That's right, steel. Now, I don't actually have steel set up as a resource that I'm, holding on to, but let's see. If I come over here, there's a good amount of steel just being stored. I think one thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to lower the storage capacity of this, because this only needs to bring steel to these. I don't need large extra amounts of steel stored here. So now let's go ahead and get these built. We're just going to build a bunch of these. I know I could have just upped the number there, but when I started clicking, I was like, I'll just build a few, and then I kept wanting all the things. So here's how we're going to solve this. Oh my god, it's perfect. I was not expecting it to be this perfect. Okay, well, it's not amazingly perfect. It could be even more perfect than it is, but it might work. Let's see. So this is somewhat extreme of me. Oh my god, it's gonna work. Oh my god. Get out of here. Alright, we're gonna have 2 Mark III sorters. You know what? Screw it. Let's have 3. 3 Mark III sorters pulling at full speed off of this line. Remember, we have an upgrade, and these continually upgrade to be able to grab more products at once. So this is a massive amount being pulled off this line. This is temporary because eventually we need to burn this for fuel. But for now, I'm just setting up a massive storage tower. And then eventually what I can do is I can probably just set up an interplanetary logistics station that can offload it and send it to other planets for fuel. That's one thing that we can definitely do just to make sure that we're, you know, taking care of our excess here. But that will at least keep the keep the energetic graphite rolling. All right. So let's take a look at the Casimir crystal situation. Casimir crystals require titanium crystals, and titanium crystals are being made over here. They're already being made for the purposes of structure matrices. And it looks like I'm consuming... Okay, I've got enough of these. But it just doesn't seem like I'm really producing very many of these. So I think what I'm going to need to do here... I'm still getting accustomed to having to pull that stuff into my inventory every time. I wish that wasn't the case, and I hope they change it. But I'm open to discussing with y'all what... Like, why would they not change it? Like, what purpose does it serve to have these objects in the logistics slots not be accessible when I need to build something in my inventory? Or when I need to build something in construction mode? Because that's not obvious to me. It doesn't jump out at me that there's some clear explanation. You know? It just doesn't. Okay, so I'm actually increasing this a little bit more dramatically than planned, but it's because I can. Nice. We now have access to level 3 proliferator paint. So we'll have to get that added as soon as we can. What does level 3 proliferator paint require? Oh. Oh. Carbon nanotubes? Hell yeah. Hold on. Well, hang on. Let's do one thing at a time. I'm going to add that as soon as possible. That's fantastic, though, because that will actually help us chew through some of our graphene, which we have so much of. So, Casimir crystals. That's what we need. And we need to also... We have our graphene coming in, which is fantastic, because this graphene will also feed the Casimir crystals. Is it coming out here? It is coming out here. Oh, that's glorious. Okay. That is just absolutely wonderful. I wasn't ready for how wonderful that is. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do then. We're going to take the diamond line here, and we're going to reposition it completely. It's going to come this way. And stop right about there. And it's a little bit different from what we had in the past. And then the graphene will do something similar. Let's see, where does the graphene go exactly? It goes over here. All right, we'll leave that there. I'm going to move you over slightly. So the graphene is going to come all the way... Tell you what, let's move you. Graphene will be right here, and then it will be up above everything. Damn. Inconvenient placement there. Wait, is that even needed anymore? Nice. It appears not, so I'll just leave that gone for now. So the graphene will come up, and we need it to go ahead and be 1 high. And then it's just going to come over like this. So that will reconnect the graphene quite quickly. And you can see it already filling the line back up immediately. But what that gives me access to here Also, this hurts my soul, so let's delete it. What that gives me access to is now I can go ahead and queue up Casimir crystals. It looks like 3, not one, not 2, but 3 Casimir crystal producers. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there are so many resources which are already part of this, just going past these automatically, and I'm in love with it. So there's that. Yep. So then just these. And then finally, we need the hydrogen. And there is hydrogen literally right here. So pretty straightforward fix here. Let's put down a splitter. I think what I'll do here... Yeah, we're going to have it come back this way. Come up this way. And then down... Wait, just kidding. Just kidding. Get this eventually. There we go. Nice. All right, and we are producing Casimir crystals. All right, so that's overdue. Casimir crystals will combine with titanium glass, which we also need to begin producing in order to make plane filters. And then plane filters will be used to make quantum chips. So kind of an important step here. Let's see, am I happy with just those 3 for now? I think I'll just choose to be. All right, so the next question is titanium glass. Let's go back a little bit. We need water, titanium, and shockingly, glass. I know it's surprising. It was a lot for me to take in at first too, but that's what we need. All right, it looks like I've got pretty much everything topped off as much as I can. Wait. Now I do. Is there a hotkey to do what I'm doing quickly? Because that would be nice to know. You know, like a hotkey to send stuff back and forth. Let's take a look real quick. So, I mean, control left mouse. Yeah, see that it pulls it into the cursor, but it doesn't just send it back and forth quickly. I've already known that. I've been using it. Okay, so let's see here. How's Titanium doing, by the way? We haven't visited Alpha Andromedae 4 in a while. I assume it's still as healthy as it was when we left last. How's, let's take a look out here. 389 megawatts. So it does seem like maybe we're not producing enough. Yeah. Yeah, we are down in our production of these. So we're no longer... Remember, we had a massive stock of these built up. I see what's happening now. I totally see what's happening now. We're stopping when we can't fire them. Man, look at the inclination of our planet right now. That's so cool. We're stopping when we can't fire them, which allows us to build them back up. But then we run out of them because we're not producing them rapidly enough. Which is common with these. We really need to have more of these being produced, if I'm being completely real. And frankly, this is kind of a crammed-in place to be building them. So I'll have to be thinking about that for a coming episode. But for now, let's continue to stay focused on titanium glass. So, we have glass over here. We have titanium being imported over there. And we have water, which is literally everywhere. So we can just set up some fresh pumps for the water. Do I need to build any more pumps? Yes, I do. I need all of those resources, but I have most of them, or at least some of them, in my inventory. So let's go ahead and pull that. There we go. 4. Will 4 be enough? Probably not. So let's go ahead and grab these. Try that again. Okay, I'll make 9. It's manually creating some of the resources, but I'm okay with it. So, in the meantime, let's see. We have water. We have titanium. We need to get glass over here. Glass is already being transported somewhat for the production of prisms, yes? Or is it not really? No, it's not really. I do, however, have... Ooh, look at this. I feel like we probably need to go ahead and set this guy up. To be a glass producer instead. Because it seems like we're running out. So just a little bit of adaptive base management there. Alright, so we currently have glass dripping like that. And it goes out like so, and then back in. Wait a minute. Where is the glass actually going? Is it just going in a loop? No, it can't be. Oh yeah, because it's being pulled by these. So I see what's happening. That makes sense. So I think the sensible thing to do here, let's go ahead and delete the drip. I don't think we need that faucet effect anymore. And let's just let it run continuously. Now, this will affect the ability of some of these to output onto the line, but the thing is, in just a moment, I'm going to have an additional output here. We'll just do, say... I know what I'm going to do. Yep, this will work. It's kind of weird, but it'll work. Wait, why'd you go that high? I didn't need you that high. Stop it. I would rather you be just 1 off the ground. There we go. That seems a lot more reasonable. I was wondering why the spacing was so off. Okay, bring you here, and then like so. We'll delete that. All right, so that's the same loop, but now we have the ability to bring glass out of here. And let's see if I can find a spot where I can just kind of shoot it across. I could also have it sent using logistic spots. You know what? That's even more sensible. I'll just do that rather than working a spaghetti solution. Let's get those plugged in. I don't need it to... I don't think I need glass brought to me in this case. So I do want to have you distribute to other distributors as needed. Just provide, and then there will be a station that requests it. So, over here, we have titanium being imported. It's already sitting on... Let's see, where is it? It's sitting on this line here. Nice. Level 3 assemblers just finished their research. All right, well, we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to stop this episode here, and in the next one, I'm going to get going on titanium glass, as well as look at what we would need for our Mark III assembling machines. It's going to require the end product of what I'm currently working on, which is the quantum chip. And quantum chips, they It's the most complex resource we've built yet because it requires that plane filter for which we need the titanium glass, but it also requires processors, which are complex in and of themselves. So they take a while to produce, and you really have to make sure the entire production chain remains healthy for them to be produced in large quantities, and we need them in large quantities if we're going to be mass producing things like assembling machines before long, which again, I don't normally do that, but I want to experiment with it this series to see how it goes. So I'll stop this one here and keep working on that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time, or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon, US Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.